Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Mordechai. I have tremendous news. We're talking about pumping the daf, getting people to rejoin the daf, and I feel like something's missing. We're only a week away from Sechet Kedushin, and I don't feel so I have to do what I need to do. About an hour ago, I spoke to Yossi and the Sanalgans, Yossi Klein and the Sanalgans. I told him, listen, I'm willing to do anything. As a matter of fact, I came up with an idea. I told him, listen, you're going to love this idea. They hated it. I'll tell you what the idea was. I said, listen, we're finishing Masechtas Gittin and we're starting Masechtas Kedushin. I'm willing to divorce my wife and be Mekayim the mitzvah of Machzik Shasoi that minute, the next minute. We're going to make a tremendous Suda. We'll bring everybody to a hall. There'll be a band. We'll start the Kedushin, the whole thing, everything. And as long as 100 people show up. They said, this is sugar. But anyways, they said, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's just, you come to New York tomorrow. We'll do a shir in New York. I said, okay. And what? So, okay. What we're going to do is as follows. We're going to do Amud Aleph, and we're going to take a 1 hour break, and whoever comes to the shir has to agree to make some phone calls. We'll do a phone station. We're going to give out lists, 5-10 names per person, and we're going to go hit the phones. We're going to bring people back, bring 200-300 people back like that. But it has to be people that are willing to pick up the phone. So tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, I don't have a ticket yet. If I have to drive there, I'll drive. We'll look at tickets later. It's going to be in the Young Israel, Agudas Yisrael, Beis Binyamin on Avenue L, 2913 Avenue L, 2913 Avenue L, Agudas Yisrael, Beis Binyamin, at 8:15 tomorrow. There'll be food, whatever they could put together in one day, some sushi, some hot dogs, I don't know what. Yeah. You coming, Shui, to help us out? Ooh, anybody could do it right now, actually. So it's in London, they sent out a mass email, I think the 2,000 people that joined the shir once upon a time. We have 20,000 people on the list, 20,000 people. And we're going to make lists. But in London, they reached out. 80 people recommitted from email alone. So if you make a phone call, I want to show you a few things here. First of all, tremendous Mazel Tov to Shimi Braun. He's the guy from Brooklyn Matzahs. I've been eating his matzahs the entire Benizmanim now. I have a box left and I eat every day Kimat. Not because it's a mitzvah, just because I like the matzah. So he writes like this: I was lucky and privileged to join the MDY family, the Sechet Shoshana, and Baruch Hashem didn't miss a daf. Today, Baruch Hashem, we had a healthy baby boy. This is a tremendous Mazel Tov because I don't know if you were following, but he had a loss. He wrote to me from the hospital as his wife had a stillborn. He said this daf kept him, was mamish, because Baruch sent him the Refuah before the Makkah. He's very, very emotional about it, that we were just talking about losing and the whole thing, and Nafel, this, that. My wife and I are thinking, how can we show you a token of appreciation for everything you did behind the scenes for us? Baruch Hashem, I've learned with you 666 daf. We're donating to MDY $1,332, $1 for each amud. And of course, signing up our newborn baby to the monthly donations of the $1 a day, just like the rest of the kids. Simchas. And Yossi Klein tells me, you see what the Hasidim do? It's true, they have a certain, when it comes to chesed and tzedakah, they're whatever, they're on a different level. Shimi Braun and family, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. So London, Dov Harris and the guys in London took this to a whole nother level. Here is Zad's son, and he's doing something very interesting. He's giving out a piece of merch to every single current member, nothing to do with the joining, not rejoining. Every member from London, I guess, I don't know if it's Manchester also, but London, if you sign up, you get this piece of merch. He just wants to be able to reach out to people and schmooze with them and but the current members. So here it is. Go to mdycm.co.uk and the two tickets there to Yisrael, another 2 tickets. You can see he's throwing tickets there to Yisrael. Left. Rabbi Isai, Jack Newsbaum, Lakewood 111. He had a surgery. I spoke to him today on the phone, mamish, for 1 minute because I was very busy preparing shir. But I spoke to him to give him chizuk, and he gave me chizuk, and he sent me this video right afterwards. Check this out.
So I remember the first time I picked up a...
Okay, let's do it again.
So I remember the first time I picked up a Gemara in probably over 20 years since Shoshana, because it's erratic, and get the other ones over there, but to show make the...
Are they all MDYs?
Not all MDYs, but they're all through. We all learn every day with MDY.
Learns everything with MDY. Before Shalema, checking as well. But he said Yitzi Raitzek brought him to the daf. And I want to tell you, look at this. Yitzi, all those Gemaras, every single one of them, he has such a schar, such a chelik in Jack Nussbaum's learning. It's unbelievable. One guy said, hey, come to the shir. He didn't learn, he didn't open up a saver. He says, he just said it. For 20 years, didn't open up saver. So think about the schusim that you're kind of one guy, just bring them back. Kedushin is so easy. Rabbi, he said the koil is sponsored by anonymous from Lakewood. The schus Shalema Esther Bas Bela Friedman. Masech is sponsored by Moshe Banda to thank Hashem that I'm able to thank Him for everything that I have. Parnas Achoidish Lilin Shma Zechariah ben Moshe. Parnas Achoidish Bracha Ad B'Lidai in all my endeavors. Baruch Tzvi Nissim ben Shoshana Leah. Parnas Achoidish Dr. Avrum Epstein in memory of the third yahrzeit of his beloved Raiza Gitl bas Zeav. Parnas Achoidish Mordechai ben Esther. You can read with me; it's fine for complete Refuah Shalema B'Karov. Parnas Achoidish number 5. Leah Nishma Zechariah bas Yosef. Parnas Ayoin. Refuah Shalema 4. Menocha Cryindle bas Esther. Amen. Parnas Ayoim Peretz Chaim Levin. He needs a lot of help tomorrow, or even today. We could start helping him out. He signed up over 1,000 people, so maybe 500 of them are off now. I don't know. Maybe 200. Peretz Chaim Levin, in honor of my new granddaughter Mazel Tov, their parents is Zechariah. He's a good Goldman. May she be source of Yishanachas to us and all of Klal Yisrael. Amen. The art of the month. For complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi ben Leah. Rabbi Isai, we're on Daf Pei Daled. Torah Bonon. Givaldic stuff today. As usual, what? Screen, Shkoyach. Raiza Gitl Chalmanash Dinasi Leploini. This is your get on condition that you marry so-and-so. You can only marry one person, so-and-so. Harezu Loitinase. So let's pay attention here. There's two things that this Bracha says. Number one, Loitinase, she cannot get married. Number two, V'imnises Loitetse. And if she gets married, she doesn't have to leave. She doesn't have to leave the guy. Who did she marry? It says, again, do not marry. You can't get married to anybody. It's not a good get. What's the get? This is your get on condition that you marry that specific person. Reuven. She's not allowed to get married. Period. To anybody. Maybe. Then it says, Loitinase. And if she does get married, Loitetse. Who did she get married to? Reuven or to somebody else? L'chayr to Reuven. Okay. So for that we have to see the Gemara. No. V'imni says, and if she got married, it is a good get. Loitetse. She doesn't have to go out. It is a good get. Says Gemara, Maika Omar. Who exactly are you talking about that she got married to? The guy that she's supposed to marry, or a random guy? So what's going to be the answer? Says the Gemara, Omar Rav Nachman. So we have two Rav Nachmans. Rav Nachman takes it back. First Rav Nachman is Hochikova. Hooray, Zulot Tinosei. What just happened? I missed my whole thing. Hold on. Okay. It's in the wrong spot. Okay. So we have this. We'll just go back to it. It says loitinase. It also says imnises loitetse. So says Rav Nachman, what does loitinase mean? Who shouldn't she marry? Loi, that guy. Reuven guy. Why? Because people are going to say, look, for nothing, he decided who she should marry. He takes his own wife and gives her to somebody else. It doesn't look good. Rashi says, a lashon, this is the worst thing somebody could say. That you literally sold your wife to somebody. They say, I don't know if it's Emerson or not, they say President Bush, that could be either one, Junior, he was driving his wife and they pulled him to a gas station. So his wife, the first lady, says to the president, she says, "You're not going to believe it. I dated that guy at the gas station." So he said, if you wouldn't have married me, you'd have been married to a gas attendant. So she said, "No, if I would have married him, he would have been the president of the United States." Okay, so this kind of thing to just give your wife, sell your wife, or tell your wife who she's married, it looks terrible. But if she marries, okay, so this Reuben guy, she can't marry. Now the next thing, what's Vimnises? Take a look. Vimnises, if she marries a random person, not like you guys were saying, a random guy, then she could stay married to that guy. In other words, we ignore his Tanai completely. What do you mean we ignore his Tanai? He made a Tanai. He said, if you don't marry Reuven, it's not a get. So how could it be a get? How could she remain married to Shimon? Yeah? There's a problem with Eshes Ish. She's an Eshes Ish. She's not divorced. But you don't want people to say and have rumors that he sold his wife or he gave his wife as a gift to somebody. So for that, you're going to be matter Eshes Ish. There's 1,000 Mishalom, but since I'm in Chicago, I'll tell you the most I always say. It's a Maisa Shahaya. My good friend Yudah Freilich, he had an organization for Kiruv, still does. It's working here in Chicago for Israelis, and he was Mekayr of an Israeli, and the Israeli got so into the idea of mikvah, he loved it, that he drove on Shabbos to the Tui mikvah. So he was over there, Raiza, without knowing. I'm saying, okay, it's I'm not making fun, Chaz Shalom. Today maybe he's from me, I don't know, but the idea, just a guy's over there, Raiza, in order to some sort of Indian of going to the mikvah, not I don't know what it is. Okay, a million things like that. Or another, I said this in Maisa, it's not 100%, but it's a good stam. I don't know if it was Peretz Chaim Levin, they said maybe about Chazanish. It was pouring rain in Bnei Brak, and a guy in a truck stopped for him, and it was like a company truck. He says, "Come on in." So he said, "Wait a minute, do you have a shus to take people, or it's a company truck? You have to do deliveries?" He said, "No, I have a shus." So he said, "I decided I don't want to take a ride. I don't want to take a ride. Why? Because maybe if I was with a clear mind and it wasn't raining, I would be able, but right now I can't make a rational decision. And I don't know if I could rely on this thing." He said, "Yeah, Rishos. You have to be makbid on all these things, on Mazel and whatever." So I'm just saying, but in terms of, let's say the guy didn't have Rishos. I want to take I heard Maisa Shahaya that happened in certain Chasidus. The lights went out and the Chassid ran and jumped and turned on the lights because the Rebbe is not going to have lights. Like he wasn't thinking in terms of you got to turn it on, you got to turn it on. Upon him, says the Gemara. Okay, let's go back to the next one. Loitinase is to that specific guy, Reuven. Shema Yoimru, the Shem is in Bantana, because of what we said, because we don't want people to be Maitzilas. But if she marries him, that was your pshat, this is the better pshat. If she marries the guy that he told her to marry, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He told her, "You're divorced on condition you marry Reuven," and she married Reuven. So she is divorced. It's great. She's not Eshes Ish. She shouldn't marry him because it's a terrible thing. And people are going to say rumors. But at the end of the day, if she did marry him, we're not going to force her to get divorced. Just because it's not nice doesn't mean you have to get divorced. So Rava tells Rav Nachman, what? She could only not marry that guy? But a random guy she could? But what happened to the Tnai? There's no divorce unless she keeps the Tnai, and the Tnai is that she must marry that guy. Now, here's the trick. The guy never said, it doesn't say in the get when she has to marry that guy. She has to marry him. Meanwhile, she could marry somebody else and another 2 people. And when she's 90 years old, she'll marry that guy. He didn't say you have to marry him first. Oh, maybe she'll get married today to some random guy. She still didn't break the condition. She's still a divorcee. And then that guy that she's marrying, Naphtali, whatever his name is, will divorce her one day or die. And then she'll keep her tonight. And we're going to compare it to Rabbi Yehuda. Interesting case. I make a vow, I'm not going to sleep today. If I sleep on Tuesday, I cannot sleep on Monday. So today's Monday. What could you do? Could you sleep or not sleep? Again, if I sleep on Tuesday, I cannot sleep on Monday. Today's Monday, I'm very tired. I want to sleep. And what happens if I sleep tomorrow? Then today I was over. I was over because I'm not allowed to sleep on Monday if I sleep on Tuesday. Again, it's very, very simple. If you sleep on Tuesday, you cannot sleep on Monday. But I want to sleep on Monday. Could you or can't you? Do I have to be choishish that you might sleep on Tuesday and therefore you'll be breaking the tonight? So we have a machlokes. Today I won't sleep if I sleep tomorrow. You're not permitted to sleep today because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And Memela, with this lady, you can't marry Naphtali because maybe you'll never end up marrying Reuven and you'll break your tie. You will never divorce. You're Eish sister and all your kids are Mamzer. Rav Nachman Omar Yishan Hayoim vein choishish im shema Yishan lamachar. Rav Nachman says no, not a problem. Just sleep today. Just don't sleep tomorrow. Be careful to be kind tonight. Happens to be a Stam Shaila. Gezel Shena. You steal sleep from people. You make a lot of noise at night. You have a party. If I bring in your backyard, you wake up the whole neighborhood. Mamish Gneva. How do you pay them back? Can't pay it back. I have one eitzah. It's not so good for Chicago. It's great for Israel. You give a speech between Kabbalah Shabbos and Ma'ariv on Friday night. The entire shul is sleeping. Like this, you bring back your Mazel Gneva. Okay, fine. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Over here, they do like at 4 o'clock, they're already done with Ma'ariv. But in Eretz Yisrael, where they're makbid on the Zmanim over there, most shuls, they daven like fine. Says the Gemara. Says Gemara, what's the connection? By sleep, the man has full control. Is he going to sleep on Tuesday or not sleep on Tuesday? He could decide. I could sleep on Monday as much as I want because I know for a fact I won't go to sleep on Tuesday. Why? The boy mavriz nafshei bisilvasa. Oh, hold on. Let me just go back over here. Should have told me. Okay, you ready? Here goes. This Yoshi told me is his favorite, maybe his favorite piece of art of Masechtas Gittin, and here it is. And the coffee's pouring out. The Bekitzer, all you need is a needle, and when you find yourself falling asleep, you give yourself a little shtuch with the needle, and it wakes you up. They say about the Tzanzarov, when he was scared he's going to be falling asleep, he put a knife right under his chin, and that if he would fall asleep, obviously he didn't fall asleep. You know that there's a knife there, you're not going to fall asleep. We have a famous Rav in our communities. I speak about him a lot. You'll see his name's in the front of every Art Scroll Gemara. He was the main editor, the I forgot what they call him, master editor of all of Shas, Reb Chaim Levin. A tremendous Talmud Chacham, big anav, short jacket, down hat. He used to wait for the bus in our neighborhood, go to Yerushalayim back and forth. What? Yeah, from the Lower East Side. So he used to put his tongue between his teeth. Like you take a nap during the day, but he only wanted to sleep for a few moments, literally. And he felt that if he slept too much, he'll bite his tongue and it will wake him up. That's what he did. Fine. Each in their own. different rabbanim, different things. They say different stories about different, water in their cold water in a bucket. Okay. Hacha b'dida kaimeli garushi. But over here, how could she marry Naphtali thinking that he's going to divorce her? And what if he doesn't want to divorce her? Says Taisves, wait a minute. A woman has a trick. We never spoke about this, I don't think, in Masechtas Gittin. A woman could demand a divorce by saying a tainus mos. If a woman says that her husband is disgusting to her, not in his physical appearance, she's disgusted by him, tainus mos, we force him to give a get. People use it. I've seen it. So Taisa says, but nevertheless, it's still up to him. He could run away. He could refuse. The waterboard him like they do in Chicago sometimes, but he won't give a get. It's still up to him. Elama Rava says, Rava, the pshat is like this. To go all the way back, here we go. Here's Rava. Rava says, both of them came on. Okay. Says Rava, who should she not marry? No one. Not Ruvain, not Shimon, not Levi, no one. Even Ruvain, but also other people. Loi, what's the reason why she can't marry that guy? So people won't say that they're giving away the wives matana. Why can't she marry anybody else? How could she marry somebody else? The Tnai is not Nekoyim, the Tnai is that she has to marry Ruvain. What are you going to say? That she'll get divorced from Naphtali, but it's not in her hand. Vimni says, and now there's a big nafkamina. Look what happens here. So now there's equal sign. If she marries Loi, if she marries that guy Ruvain, Loi Teitze, she doesn't have to leave. Why? Everything that we learned until now. But if she marries another person, Teitze, she must leave that guy. Why? The boy, the cumulative night, because she wasn't kind of night. Says the Gemara, the Rava, we have a right to Rava. Hare zuloi tinase loy v'loy lacher. It says mamish meforsh like Rava. She can't marry both anybody. Vimni says it says exactly like Rava. Loy teitze lacher teitze. Now, many times the Gemara does this. The Gemara goes through all the motions, and finally the Gemara brings a Braisa. All the Gemara needs to do is bring this Braisa and end the story. We go through Rav Nachman 1, Rav Nachman 2, and then finally Rava. Just bring the Braisa that says exactly what Rava says. Braisa is a Tana. The Tanaim spoke about this, and they said this is the pshat. But a lot of times the Gemara goes through it to show you how we reach certain conclusions, how the Braisa reached the conclusion. You can't say the pshat is like this, loy and lacher, or loy and loy, because you have all these questions. So it must be loy vila acher and loy teitze and teitze. It doesn't say that in the first, all the way in the beginning, Torah Rabbanon, we don't have all these words. This is a buildup of different questions that we have, and now we have a perfect understanding. Torah Rabbanon. Screen, thank you. Raiza Gitl. This is your get on condition you go up into the Rekia. I don't know where the Rekia is. Possibly today, it's at night that you can be Mekayim. I don't know. You go to the moon. I don't know where the Rekia is. If I knew where the Rekia is, I could answer. But I'm assuming that the Gemara wasn't aware of rocket ships that go to the moon or these kind of things. Now, and I'll prove it to you. Sort of, almost. But it says in Itzavim, Lo b'shamayim mi leimor, mi yala, Torah is not in Shamayim. Mi yala no Shamayim yikochel. Torah is not in Shamayim. Where's Torah? Here in this world, especially if you have MDY. It's everywhere. Even when you go on vacation, click of a button, you get a whole share. I'm just saying, you got to join. I'm just trying to push it, man. You got to push it. I'm going to ask Sheterdi l'tahim. Maybe today we could go into the time. We go very, very far down. I don't know. But this is a tonight, and those days you couldn't be Mekayim, and you can't be Mekayim. Now, Tosis asks, but it says, and I think Krisos he brings, it says that, but if the continuation of this thing is, and if a person was Mekayim it, then it's a good get. How do you go to the Rekia? We don't have rockets, says Tosis. How do you go to the Rekia? Says Tosis Agidei Shem. A person could go to the Rekia by saying Hashem, Shem Hashem. Then he'll find himself in the Rekia. So again, I don't know where Rekia is. So the Gemara. But I'm saying it's achievable through a shame. That's what he's saying. Okay. So, Nachamal, we're in the middle of a Bracha. This is your get if you do something impossible, going up to the sky, going down into the time. Swallow this 8-foot pole. Bring me a 200-foot pole. Now, I got to tell you this. Is this on? Oh, let me just see where it is. Sorry. Oh, here we go. This is a 100-foot pole. And the reason why I'm showing it to you is because it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Mamish, a beautiful idea. Listen to this. I don't think I ever spoke about this Nakuda. It's a very simple Nakuda. This is Chinese bamboo. Chinese bamboo has an unbelievable thing. You plant it and you water it every single day for 5 years and you get nothing, zero for 5 years. And after 5 years, it pops out. And within 5 weeks, it grows to over 90 feet in 5 weeks. Over an inch an hour. 35 inches a day. An inch and a half an hour. So I'm thinking to myself, unbelievable. Daf Yomi, you learn every single day. You water every day. And people say, but I'm not left with anything. I don't know much. I listen to the Daf. I don't know. And you know what? And after 5 years, all of a sudden, wow, you're Talmud Chacham. You have all these ideas, all these musagim. It suddenly hits you. The first year, you might be like, I don't know what I did here. I heard this, I heard that. But you got to plant every day. You got to water every day. Every day you water. Sometimes you don't see results. But at the end, it's guaranteed. I promise you, guaranteed results. So the Gemara, I don't know if I should say this, but I will say it's not if it gives one person a chizuk. I can tell you on myself that I'm not the same learner I was 5 years ago. I see a tremendous difference in my understanding, in the way I chap, it's just the amount of time. My reading comprehension is much better. Everything is much better. I see it. Now, it took a long time to see. I maybe be'emes, I don't think I saw it for 3-4 years. But now I'm thinking back, wait a minute. I remember then, when I went to the basement and I sat down, I didn't have the same reading comprehension. Looking the art scroll every 5 minutes. Things change. Eventually they change. It takes time. Zog the Gemara. Amanas. You should cross the ocean, the great ocean, by foot. You said a ridiculous thing. You can't be Mekayim such a night. It's not a get. Listen to this. And remember these words. Why? Because look at this in this chart. We use this word kozeh get. Kozeh means like this and nothing else. In other words, this is a perfect get. He's drank a cup. He says you gotta walk across the ocean. He's being Meshuggah. He means it's a good get, and he just wants to be mitzar you. Klal Omer Yehuda Bentema. And this is also words that you have to remember, okay? Because this is also on the chart. Look at this. Klal Omer Yehuda. We're going to learn. It's a klal. It's a rule. What do you learn from the rule? You have to add something to the rule. Kazeh, what? Oh, I didn't put the chart up? Sorry. Oh, thank you. I thought it was up. So in other words, those two words, kazeh get, we have machlekes abayim and Rava, what you take off because of kazeh, and what do you put on because of klal. Okay? So, if there's a tnai on condition you go up to the sky and you can't do it, and you made a tnai, he's trying to be mitzar Shalema Yisrael. Because therefore, it's not pshat, it's not a get. It's a good get, and he's drinking a cup. Says Rav, this is the halacha. So again, if a person makes a tnai that's impossible to keep, you're going to go into the earth, 10,000 feet into the earth. Okay, you're joking. It's a good get and it's a joke. I can prove it. It says in, I believe, in Baba Mitzvah, But if it's impossible, the Gemara is medayik. Tonight, bottle. The tonight is bottle, but the get is a good get. Shema mino.
What's the difference between Zeav or Klal?
Oh, we're going to see in a second. Raiza Gitl. And this is an amazing. Think about how beautiful this shaila is. I'm making a condition that you're going to eat chazer, pig. Could you eat chazer or not eat chazer?
That's how bad he was.
What?
That's how bad a husband he was.
But the shaila is, could you eat chazer? The answer is yes, you could eat chazer. But is included? Yeah, you could. You'll get malchus. You'll be over the Raiza. But could you? Yes. It's not like going to the moon. You could, but you shouldn't. Mao. Or by he. No, this is the same exact thing as saying to a person going up to Shemayim, going into the earth. You can't do it. You cannot do it because Hashem told you not to do it. You could chop a piece of chaser and eat it, but that's not considered doing. Rav Omar, Efshar the Ochlo Velakia. It's not true. Since you physically could, just it's awesome for you, you'll get malchus, but you could. Says the Gemara, if so, the word klal, la baya klal, la suyi b'sar chazer. By the way, it's in this week's parasha. This is reading chazer. The Rava, Sabai says, in other words, klal, anything that's impossible, says Abaye, that includes chazer. It's impossible to eat chazer, therefore, it's a good get. The Rava Kozeh Lemuti B'Sar Chazer says Rava no. When it says Kozeh get, Yehuda ben Teva said Kozeh get, but not a chazer. So we have a big machlokes in chazer. If chazer is the Tanai, according to Abaye, it's a good get. According to Rava, it's not a get. This is your get on condition they have relations with so and so. When it's a get, if you do it, it's a get. V'mlav get. Oh, so now we're bringing in something that's impossible lahalacha to do. Should I have relations with your own father? My father, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't mention the case of that you should do avera. It's that you shouldn't. Because according to Abaya, this is not a good tonight. It flies out the window. It's a kash on Rava. When it comes to chazer is different than a rayas because chazer is between you and the chazer. All you need to do is go into a treif restaurant and eat it. To another person, if your husband says you have to be nivel to somebody, okay, so you go to the guy, you say how much you want, $1 million, 10 million, 20, but it's doable. There's a price for everything. However, it's not up to her. Maybe okay, she'll be over the Isser in order to get married. So says the Gemara, so here we have the whole thing now. When Rabbi Yehuda ben Teva said klal, I have a rule. So comes to include a father, because according to Rava, a father is a tonight that's possible to do, but it's not up to you. It's different than chazer. Chazer, says Rava, is not a get. Why? Because it's impossible for you to do. I'm sorry, it's possible for you to do. According to Rava, you could eat chazer. You just don't. But when it comes to a father, it's you might be able to do it on your own, but it takes two people, and the other person is not going to be masking. Says the Gemara, as we said before, the klal of kazeh comes to exclude chazer, that it's not a get. La baya, but according to Baya, klal asui b'sar chazer. That we said before, that if a person makes a condition, here's your get on the condition you eat chazer, it's not a condition, and therefore it's a good get. Kazeh lemute ploini. When he says you have to be nivel to ploini, that is not a get. So here we are on Amud Beis. In case you missed it, and you live in New York and you don't do emails, so Be'ezer Hashem, tomorrow is Tuesday. I will be flying into New York to have a live shir at the Gudis Yisrael on Avenue L, 2913 Avenue L. If you're coming because we want to make a stop in the middle to eat dinner and to make phone calls. Barak for an hour, 5 to 10 phone calls. And all of Klal Yisrael is going to be making these phone calls while I'm in New York. You guys in Chicago also, you pull out your phone. You can do it even today. That's what we're doing. So if you want to come and make phone calls, please show up tomorrow at Avenue L. Space is limited, only 300 people. Hopefully, you're going to be there. We have our first, remind me your name again? Nossi Genot. Eli's father. Right. Eli's father is here. He flew into Camp Good, but had to stop by here. Yishkoyach Galamai for coming. All right. Chanoch Haaretz's neighbor. Send regards. All right, so we got one person. At least it's next to you. It's in Flatbush over there. Says the Gemara. Okay, fine. Oh, sponsored by MDY Tilling Group, where we daven for Refuah Yeshuas and Shidduchim for Klal Yisrael and the MDY family. Join us at tilim.imindab.com. You can see them with the eyes dilated, not dilated. Oh, okay, it's not to get to the Olam, but I'm very excited because Dr. Ovitsky, he gave me a different lens prescription. It's called where one eye sees far, so I should be able to read better now than usual. Okay, we'll see. We'll try it out when those lenses come. Raiza Gitl. Whoa, this side is already harder to read. Oh, no, not yet. It's getting better as we get there. I'm getting used to it. Kasha. This is your get on condition that you eat chazer. And if she's Israelis, almanash toichli betruma. On condition you the over is the Raiza of eating truma, and is the Raiza of eating chazer. Nazira. So let's see if we have a Nazira here. Oh, you guys remember this?
Not seeing.
Yeah, on purpose. Here we go.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, these are Nazirim. If you weren't part of Nazir, this is the guy on the left is a real live Nazir. I interviewed him, and the guy on the right is a made-up one. But this was Mesechus Nazir. So a person says that you are, she's a Nazira. In other words, she's not allowed to drink wine or eat grapes. And he says to her, you're going to be obvious to the Raiza by drinking wine. This guy Matnai is a get. If she listens, it's a get. Vimla, a get. It's not a get. The Rava Nicha, Labai Kashi. According to Rava, who says, go ahead and do it, great, it's a good night. But according to Abaya, it's a Kashi. Abaya, Misar is the Riakoli, Amar Rabbanani. Okay, this goes according to Rabbana. Easy way to get out of it. B'tevik le, ask the Gemara, Bam Kasha. We know the Muslim here, we'll show it to you on the screen. Masna, Mashikosabat Torah. This is a concept in all of Shas. That you're not allowed to make conditions on something that's in the Torah. If the Torah tells you to do X, Y, Z, you can't make a condition that's against that. Like what? We'll see in a second. Oh, but David Lay, the Masna Mashikosabat Torah, he's telling you to eat chazer when the Torah says you're not allowed to. Masna Mashikosabat Torah, no bottle. The concept is that the Tanai is bottle if that's what you do. Omar Ravada Breder Avika. When do we say this idea that you can't make a condition against what the Torah tells us? So check it out. The pasuk says, what does that mean? That you have to give your wife 3 things. So these 3 things, they're not. You can't make a condition against it. I'm marrying you on condition they don't have to clothe you. I don't have to give you support. It doesn't work like that. You're making a Tanai against the Torah. The Torah says you have to give her these 3 things. But says the Gemara, but wait a minute. That's when you're going against the Torah. But over here, that's the husband being oiker. She was oiker it by eating chazer 10 days later, much later. His Tanai was today. He didn't do anything when he made the Tanai. Later on, when she decides to eat chazer, she was the one that was oiker. What do you mean? She was over on the Torah. He told her to do it. He made her do it. It was his condition. And when she eats the chazer even 10 days later, it's because he stipulated it. So he's the one that did it. It's because it's 100%. He's saying, I'm marrying on condition I don't have to give you shayk susaina. He didn't force her to eat chazer. She says, if you want to get divorced, then you have to eat chazer. I didn't say you should get divorced. If you want, it's up to you. You decide. You want to eat chazer or not eat chazer. So it's not considered masna mashakos of. Says the Gemara. We said in the Mishnah that if a person says, this is your get on condition that you cannot marry so-and-so. Everybody can marry the entire world besides so-and-so. So what do? Kate said, Yasa says the Mishnah, take the get from her and give it back. Montana, Omar Chizkiyo, thank you for coming, come again. Omar Chizkiyo, Reb Shimon Elazar, finally get another guy in Chicago and he leaves in the middle of the ship. Remember that case when a person fools his wife. He wants to be nice to her. He's embarrassed to say, been married for 40 years, here's your get. So he says, here's a nice check. We just got a check in the mail here, deposit it. So she takes it, she's all excited, and she looks inside, and she claps that it's a joke. So what's the halacha? According to Shimon Elazar, you have to take it back from her and give it to her. Hey Gittin. Now, according to Rebbe, you don't have to take it back. According to Rebbe, you just say, this is your get. As she's holding it, you say, this is your get, but you don't have to return it. So when the Mishnah says, take it back from her and give it, that's Reb Shimon Elazar, not Rebbe, because according to Rebbe, you don't have to take it back. Says Rabbi Yochanan, no, this could be according to everybody. Why? Who's Dilchain? It says Rashi, it's Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana came from Bavel to learn Torah by Rabbi Yochanan, says Rashi. And Rabbi Yochanan asked him a bunch of questions. What do they say in Bavel? And he answered them beautifully, one after another. So he calls him Dilchain, yours. In other words, your Bavli, he's a special person, Rav Kahana. He was a huge Talmid Chacham. He was impressed by him. Dilchain Omar, your Bavel person said, Shani Acha Hoyel. You see, and he's actually quoting him. Another with respect. Shani Acha Hoyel Lukunatoi Liposel Boy Likuno. The key word here is the word kanatoi. She acquired it. So if she acquires the get for one little reason, for one thing, there's two options here. There's an option that the get is zero. I gave you a get. I told you that it's $1 million check. I lied to you. So how much get is this get? Zero. But there's a get that's a little bit of a get because this get makes her puzzle to Kohanim. And Memela, since she's puzzle to Kohanim, she's koinet. Once she's koinet, I need to take it back from you. I need to take it from you and give it to you. Because once it's yours, I can't change what I said. So let me take it from you. You give it back to me as a gift, not just take it back. You say, okay, the wife says to the husband, here's the, excuse me, here's your get, take it. You do whatever you want. Okay, I'm taking it, and now I'm going to give it to you with the right lashon. But if it was a big fat zero on it, I didn't do anything, so it's not the wife's. So if it's not the wife's, but it's in her hands, then I don't have to take it back. All I need to do is change my lashon. And Shalema Yisrael. Says the Gemara, he wrote inside the get the condition. Omer of Safra, he seems like he doesn't add anything. It says before in the Mishnah, if it was written inside, it's too late. There's nothing you can do. You can't erase anything. It's too late. Says Rav Safra, oh, it was written inside. Pshita. So b'saychet. That's exactly what it says in the Mishnah. What are you adding? Says the Gemara, Mal the same So here's, don't take this literally. It's not 100% exact. According to Rashi places, the Torah is like the first line on top. But it doesn't really match. We spoke about this. Maybe in those days they wrote very bekitzer. It was the date and the people and everything. But let's just say, for argument's sake, it's the red thing here. It's the Iker names the place and that I'm divorcing you. Okay? Then it says, afterwards, it just says other stuff, and it should be Rashi and Pehei Amud Beis and Dibra Maskil. Let's see where it is, somewhere in the middle of the page over there. If I can read, I can't read. Oh, the mashma, I can't read what it says there, but it starts the mashma. Limchak, I can't read it, sorry. Litzachik, I don't know what it says there. But in the middle, right afterwards, it says, Zeu toifus I get. That I can read. Limchak, it says, I can't read. Oh, you know what? I'll take my glasses. Amud Beis. Oh, limechachich, to make fun of. The mashma limechachich. Okay. Pei Amud Beis in Rashi, limechachich. The mashma limechachich. Says the Gemara. Where are we holding? A few more minutes. Okay. Anyway, so it says like this. I would think that you wrote it inside after the red, before the blue, let's say. But if you wrote it in the red part in the beginning of the get, if you say this condition, it's also possible. In other words, a person is reading it out and he says a condition, on condition you do 10 jumping jacks, it makes it get possible because it's by the Torah. Kamashmal, and then no. Rava says no. This whole psul is if you make a condition, you write it inside the get after the Torah, which is the red over here. But if you write the condition before, it is possible. Rava goes according to himself. He told the people that write the Seifrim, Shitku, Shatuki, Labal, Adaksivile, Letoira of the Gita. Don't let the husband write any conditions until you write the Torah. Torah Rabbah. Kol atanoim poislim beget. Divri Rebbe. Any condition that you put inside a get, even jumping jacks, nothing to do with marrying somebody and doing this and that, not marrying somebody, yes, marry somebody. Just a simple condition. You have to do 10 jumping jacks. Makes the get possible if you write it inside. No, only something that's a very bad condition. And the Gemara is going to give you an example. And if it doesn't, if you say balpeh verbally, and you put it in the get, and it doesn't make the get possible if you say it verbally, so it doesn't make the get possible if you write it. Chutz, what is it? If a person says you divorce chutz, besides that person, you can't marry that person. It passes the whole get. So therefore, if you put it in writing, it goes well. But if you say on condition, the machlokes is if you write it before the red part. The Rebbe Savar Gazrinon Amanas Otuchutz. Because then I'm concerned, even in a place where you write Amanas, which should be kosher, but you might think that if you write chutz inside the get, it's okay. Rabbanon Savri Lo Gazrinon Amanas Otuchutz. And Rabbanon say no, we're not concerned. But if you put it after the red part, Divrei Hakol kosher. According to everybody's kosher. Umas Nissim Diktani Kisvu V'Kimnu B'Chutz. In our Mishnah that we said that we're talking about chutz. Remember, in our Mishnah, that's what we said. It's talking about a condition. He says, besides, you can't marry you can marry everybody besides so and so. Allah manas, like possible. You boy say either the pshat is because he wrote it before the red, like and according to Rabbanon. You boy say or you could say that he wrote it after Torah and it goes according to everybody. Rava Omar machlokes lachat Torah. Rava explains the whole machlokes is after the Torah, after the red. The Rebbe Sovar Gazrinon Otu Lefnei Torah. We have to be concerned. A person might make a mistake and think that you could do it even before the Torah, which is the ikar of the get. Rabbanan Sabri like Gazrinon Otu Lefnei Torah. Rabbanan said no, we don't have to make such gzera. So it discusses gzera. Al Lefnei Torah of Divrei Hakol possible. But everybody agrees if it's before the Torah, if it's completely possible. Masnis Diktani Kisvu. And we already established the Mishnah goes on chutz. Wow, 3 seconds. Got it just in time. Yeah. We're almost done. We just want to get to the Mishnah because in New York you got to start from a fresh place, and this is like one of those interesting sugyas. Back, forth, before the Torah, and after the Torah, after the Torah, before the Torah. Fine. You can wake up tomorrow by the Mishnah. It'll be great. But if you make a condition, we said in our mission, we brought a Bracha different, but we said person makes a condition, that you don't marry so and so, it doesn't make the get possible. That's when he wrote it after the Torah. So this is very interesting. We have to understand what he said here. We're going to have to fix it a little bit. If he writes a get with a condition, according to everybody, it's possible. As the Gemara, possible. We just said a machlokes. Eloema, we have to fix it. Kosher. Now the Gemara says that makes more sense to fix it that way than to fix it. We have another option of fixing, changing names around maybe. But names don't get confused. Kosher and possible gets confused as Gemara. Why is it kosher according to everybody? If it's after the red stuff, after all the important stuff, so you put it whatever you want. Says the Gemara, is a puzzle. Why? Just keep the puzzle intact and stick in a name. But wait a minute. Says the Gemara, you can't do that. He learned that according to everybody, he remembers one thing. He remembers according to everybody, the halacha is he just got mixed up. Instead of puzzle, it's kosher. But he remembers it was according to everybody. So he can't stick in an individual name when he remembers that. You could sometimes make a mistake between kosher and puzzle, flip that. But to make a mistake that it's according to everybody, or say that it's only according to one person instead of everybody, that you don't make a mistake. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.